Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, QMB, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays, I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Linda Kilgore, State Farm.
State Farm agent Linda Kilgore is driven to save you money on your home, auto, and life insurance.
Hi, my name is Linda Kilgore. I'm a State Farm agent in Jacksboro, Tennessee. I have 32 years insurance experience. I have been here in Campbell County for about 21 years. We offer auto, homeowners, life, health, banking, and mutual funds. Come by and let us give you a quote. Doesn't cost you anything. We can answer all your questions and choose the coverage that's right for you.
Or see State Farm agent Ann Gwen Love.
If you need rental insurance, stop by and see me at Linda Kilgore State Farm.
For all your insurance needs, see State Farm agent Linda Kilgore in Jacksboro across from Walmart, 423-566-5000, 566-5000.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, comfortable, capable. That's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
And we're on, and thanks for watching, folks. And I want to tell you about other sponsors like True Value Homes. True Value Homes in Scott County. But the person that runs that place, you all know him over here. And Keith Klotzfelter. Now, he's got just a great selection and very reasonable prices. I'm sure he can meet or beat anybody's prices, because where he's set up, he's right in a nice area, but very little it costs him to be there. So you don't have to pass that expense on. And he has a great selection of homes. So it's located on Highway 27 in Huntsville, Tennessee. It's just at the junction of 63 and 27. So if you go over there, you can tell them that Ariel sent you, and I greatly appreciate it. Ron's Golf Cart and Flea Market down here, folks. He's always coming up with something unique, especially in the golf cart part. And he has old clocks. You like antiques? Because he buys antiques, he sells antiques. And folks, if it's got a little anything wrong with it, he'll fix it. He's a fixer-upper, I'm telling you. You ever been in there?
No, I hadn't.
He's behind Long John Silver's, and he sells used golf carts and rents golf carts. Plus, he has a flea market, indoor flea market.
Indoors.
Indoors.
Air conditioned or just indoors in the shade?
No, he can air condition if he wants to, but he don't normally turn that on unless he
Well,
has
I
to.
like the flea market indoors. I don't want to be out in the hot sun.
Well, you'll be, and what's so unique about it, everything's priced, clean as a pin. It's not, you're not walking in.
Not walking through a box of.
No.
Oh, okay. I'll have to go through a
Everything-
box and ask how much it is.
Right, everything's, you know exactly what the price is when you look at it,
Right.
and it's clean as a pin. You don't put it on the floor if it's not clean.
That sounds like a good place.
It's a great place. You ought to go down and try it
I'll
out.
try it.
Okay, my other sponsor tonight is Tennessee Outdoors in Huntsville, Tennessee. Folks, Tennessee Outdoors has everything for your hunting and fishing and guns. And even when you're in there and the Husqvarna, he has all, every one of those tools, I think, lawnmowers and tractors and you name it, rototillers, it gets whatever you want. And 48 months interest-free financing. He has firearms, ammunition, he got it all. But here's a big kick about this, folks. When you go over there and you're going to go to Razak's, it's a great place to stop in and get to know some great folks. And also, when you're Tennessee Outdoors, you don't have to go outside. You just go straight over, and they've got a great assortment of furniture. So
Keep Mama happy. While I'm shopping for guns and a chainsaw, she can go pick out a living room set.
absolutely,
I like that. Fun for the whole family.
absolutely. So anyway, welcome, Mark.
It's good to see you, RL. Appreciate you inviting me up. Hello, Campbell County. How y'all doing tonight?
And it's almost that time for
It's that time. You know, of course, anybody's getting ready to turn 65. It's time now.
It's time.
If you've got Medicare and TennCare, it's time now. But for everybody else, it's getting October 15th to December 7th. And from what we're hearing right now, folks are going to want to review their plans and their coverages for next year. We got a few things that we know about with doctor network adjustments. You know, we got some plans that are changing a little bit. A couple of the big companies have bought and sold each other this year. So please give us a call, 1-866-691-5571. We'll make sure we set aside time for you. We'll sit down and look at what you've got, help you find other options if you need them. And of course, we never charge a fee for what we do. We just try to help people understand coverage and get what they need.
It was one of the things that you wonder, how do these guys do this? Well, believe me, they're not doing it for nothing because the insurance companies pay them. So
That's exactly right, RL.
and the thing that's so unique about this thing, you don't want to give them wrong information because you want to keep that insurance in your pocket, don't you?
Well, we're an independent agency, RL. What that means is that we can bring several different policies together for you to look at. And we can help you understand the differences between one and another so that when you pick out the one that you think is going to be the best for you, you know why you're doing that. And okay? Now, you always want to deal with an independent agent that has more than one company in their product lineup, because otherwise all they can tell you about is the only one they know.
Right.
All right, and so that would be like going and telling somebody, hey, I think I need a vehicle, and the only thing they got on the lot is a Ford pickup truck. Well, you might need a Chevy Cavalier. Okay, and if you need a Chevy Cavalier, don't just buy a Ford pickup truck. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say is one size does not fit all when it comes to any type of insurance. Be sure you're getting somebody that can help you understand the different ones that are available for you.
Okay, now let's just say that, okay, I no name insurance. I go down here and this insurance, I want R.L. Gibson insurance. Now, is there a Mark Beckman insurance within that same company, or is there different levels in each one of those companies, right?
Most of the companies that are, and there again, we're talking about the larger companies. We usually try to stay away from the smaller companies simply because the larger ones are more financially stable. You know, there's a lot that goes into making your choice. But most of the major companies that are available, especially here in Campbell County, have more than one product. okay? And so you might have one at this price point and another at another price point. And having somebody who can understand the differences within that company is one thing, but now if I compare RL's brand of insurance with Mark Beckman's brand of insurance, I need somebody that's kind of impartial.
Right.
Okay, because Mark Beckman's will tell you Mark Beckman's got the finest thing since sliced butter, and RL's going to argue that no, he invented sliced butter. Okay, and so you want somebody that can actually help you understand both of them. Okay, I'm contracted with most of the major insurance carriers, and they compensate me directly. So I really don't have a quota. I don't have to push one because I'm trying to meet somebody else's goals, and I can help you understand if a certain one looks best, why I think it looks best. Okay, and so it's not going to be based because I want you to have that. It's just maybe that's what your doctor takes. Okay, maybe that's what your pharmacy takes. Maybe that fits best in your budget. And so when I'm working with somebody, I try to help them understand why these different ones might be better fit for them.
Well, now, you said something there. Well, let's just get the call. I'll get back to this. You're on the air.
Let's talk about what really is going on in this county. What about the judge down there has destroyed court documents, being sued civilly? Why is nobody talking about that?
Well, I'll tell you what. I've got a person coming on here at 8:30 to talk about the government and stuff, and we'll talk about that in the 8:30 hour. Appreciate your call. But I had a question. Is there any way that a insurance company could tell you which doctors in each area uses their insurance?
Well, a lot of folks don't understand that doctors sign contracts with insurance companies, and bottom line, they're making business decisions based on reimbursements and things like that. If a doctor's affiliated with a hospital, sometimes he's got to take what the hospital does. And there again, there's a contract, okay? So when you're picking out your insurance plan, you want to make sure that that plan meets your doctor requirements. Some people want to just go, I want to go to the Mayo Clinic up in Cleveland. Well, then you need to pick a plan that'll let you go to the Mayo Clinic in Cleveland. Not all plans will, not all plans should. If that's something that you want, you need to be shopping for one that'll let you do that. If I have a doctor that only takes specific plans, then I need to choose one of those plans so I can continue to see that doctor, okay? There are doctor affiliations and doctor groups. Some of them take Plan A, some of them take I shouldn't say Plan A. Some of them take Company A's insurance because that's what they feel is the best fit for them as a business, okay? Another group may take Company A and Company B because they feel like it's best for them as their business to take more than one kind of insurance. So when you're working with an insurance agent, you need to make sure that he goes through the network that you need and he helps you narrow down the selection to plans that will work with your specific doctor. That is very important that you have a good knowledge that your plan is accepted by your doctor before you sign up for it. Now, what happens if during the year something changes? Okay, all of a sudden my doctor decides he doesn't like that insurance. He won't take it anymore. That's why we have what's called the annual election period at the end of the year between October 15th and December 7th. That's the period of time that you go, hey, my doctor doesn't want this in it anymore, okay? I've got two choices. I can change doctors or I can pick a plan that suits my doctor and change over to that. Okay, that's why we have, it's called the annual election period. Some people qualify to change their plan any time of year. They don't have to wait till October. Those people have what they call a special election period. How do you qualify for a special election period? Well, most people that have low income subsidy or extra help, they can change plans any time of year they want to. QMB can change plans any time of year they want to. TennCare, they can change.
What does that mean?
That's qualified monthly beneficiary. They have a little pink ID card issued by the state that pays their co-pays for the doctor and hospitals. QMB, that is an open special election period, and they can change plans any time of year that they want to. as many times as they want to. Anytime a person has a low income subsidy or extra help, QMB or TennCare, along with their Medicare, okay, those people can change their plan any time of the year they want to. If they make a change right now today in August or any time in the month of August, that change will actually go into place on the first day of September. So those folks that have those type of Medicare and TennCare or low income subsidy or QMB or SLMB, those folks can change their plan and they do not have to wait until October 15th. Now RL, you don't qualify for those programs and you're not involved in those. So in your situation, you have between October 15th and December 7th to review the new plans that are coming out, review your current plan, and you should meet with me and we should sit down and talk about that and make sure that what you've got now is going to be the best thing for you to have in 2016.
You're on the air.
Yes, I'd like to find out how that someone to get insurance, she had the Obamacare, and when she first got it, the premium was low. They jacked the premium up, and the third time they jacked it up $600 and something, and she's on low income and she can't pay it. Now what can she do to get some insurance?
The way they've got the Obamacare system set up right now, it's through healthcare.gov. They force you through that to apply for TennCare anymore. It used to be you could go down to the Department of Human Services and apply for, subsidy or get some help that way. Everything is handled through the healthcare.gov website. If you will go in there and maybe get some help, there are resources now depending on who your doctor is. Some of the doctor offices can help with what they call navigation. I know that Community Health of East Tennessee, I know they've got some resources that are available there. And I don't know if you have to be one of their patients, but I know that they have some folks that can help with that sort of thing, and that's how you apply for that.
Okay. Now I've got you. Now I had a choice in January, I guess, to go under the VA system or keep my doctor system that I got. So because my doctor is retiring last month, I decided to go under the VA system. Will that interfere with my insurance at all?
That the VA benefits are actually independent of your plan. If you've got a Medicare Advantage plan or a supplement or things like that, VA benefits are actually administered differently than that. I don't know of too many cases where they interfere with each other. One exception might be what's called TRICARE for Life. And you always want to check with whoever is administering that insurance for you, okay? So the VA, you want to check with them and make sure. In your case, I know that that's not going to interfere. I've dealt with that myself, okay? TRICARE for Life, most of those folks don't need any. They've got virtually 100% coverage, so there's no need to take out anything else. One thing I do know is that VA made some changes in the rural areas and where it's difficult or not practical for you to go to Johnson City or Nashville or even into Knoxville. They do have some sort of a new system, I'm not familiar with what it's called, where you can actually use a local doctor for your routine stuff, okay?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, and that's fairly new within the last year or so.
But it don't interfere with payment from my...
No, sir. No, your insurance that you have now is independent of that.
Okay. Now, one of the things, like talking about, your doctors and the VA sent me to a doctor here in La Follette for the problem that I have, and I mean, they're the one that sent me. And I go there and I go check in, and they said, "We're sorry, we don't take that insurance because we work through UT." So they told me another doctor to go to, but here, the one, I lost at least a month time for getting care.
Anytime the government rolls out a new system, they want to get folks excited about it. Say, here's what your government's doing for you. Problem is, on the back side of that, sometimes they don't have the infrastructure in place and they don't have the contracts with the doctors.
Right.
So you can go there, but your doctor didn't know that yet. I've seen that with the TennCare. A lot of folks got switched over onto something called Amerigroup last year. Amerigroup switched a lot of the TennCare people off of Blue Care and off of United Healthcare, TennCare, TennCare over onto Amerigroup to kind of balance the load out. Pretty normal thing for them to do. Problem was is they didn't have their doctor contracts in place, and these folks got this Amerigroup ID card first of the year, went to go to the doctor, and they said, well, hey, we don't take that. And now they're kind of stuck because they're on TennCare. If something like that's happened to you, let me know. Give us a call, 1-866-691-5571. Most of the time, we've got a phone number that you can call and get yourself rearranged back where you were, or maybe we can help directly depending on what you need. But certainly, any types of questions along those lines, we're always willing to try to help out with.
Okay. Now, one of the things that he said at the beginning of the thing, right now, folks, if you're just now turning 65, and you know, every day and every month, we've got people turning 65 years old.
Oh, and their phones blow up. You know what? You have made the A-list when you turn 65. Everybody in the world knows it. Your phone's going to blow up. You're going to get stuff in the mail. You're going to end up one of those stacks on your kitchen table about that high.
Yeah.
About this high, if you can see me in the game. You're going to end up, and you're not going to know what's good, what's bad. Okay, somewhere in there's probably a Medicare card. What am I going to do with that? Somewhere in there's an advertisement from this company or that company. Call me up. I'll help you sort through it. We'll throw most of that in the trash.
I'll tell you that. And I've down through my life, I've been halfway decent organized. I don't read them.
No. But there's probably something good in there. I'll help you find it.
You're on the air.
Can we give that phone number again? I didn't get it.
Yes,
Slow
ma'am.
down, too.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. My name is Mark Beckman. The phone number is 1-866-691-5571. That's toll free right here in Campbell County. 866-691-5571. I'm Mark Beckman.
I think they hung up.
Well, maybe they were still watching. I hope so.
Yeah, I guarantee they are. Now, something that's even, you've not mentioned where you will be seen or where you'll be at, like on every Wednesday here in Campbell County.
Wednesdays, I'm all over the place. Wednesday, I'm actually in Scott County.
Oh, okay.
Thursdays, I'm up here. I check in at the senior center. I stop by some of the local pharmacies. I've been at the new Terry's down there in La Follette quite a bit. Folks have asked me to come there. They've actually got a room set up we can meet with you at. And mostly here in Campbell County lately, people have been asking me for home appointments. It's more, they haven't been able to get out or whatever. So if somebody needs me to come to them, that works. That way I can help you sort through that stack of piles there on your kitchen table, the pile of mail, and all that stuff has to do with Medicare, and you don't know what to do with it. I can help you with that. A lot of times you might have things like your medicine list or things like that at home. I can sit right down with you. I don't mind to come to you. No problem at all.
So anyway, if you got any questions, you give Mark a call here, because he got another about 5 minutes, and I'll be running him off, but I hate running him off because I like doing the show with you.
I enjoy it myself.
I'd like to get into politics and you sometimes about politics.
Well, we could do that sometime.
And we can even talk about where did you play basketball?
Well, we can talk about that. And of course, I'm into miniature golf. And, but I really feel lucky to do what I do, RL, because I get to meet so many folks. I can't tell you how many folks I've met, but people are just really needing to, good help, and I try to get that for them.
You're on the air.
Mark, you can explain this to me. I really don't understand it. I have to take the CT scan twice a year. Once every 6 months, I've had lung cancer and had a lung removed. And I don't care what they are, I'm on Humana. And now, I pay $100 to have that scan. And the scan on the paper that the hospital sends you, the scan cost is $2,300. Now, I am paying more than Humana's paying for that scan. How can that be? I'm paying $100 every time I have that scan. When Humana sends the paper out, what they pay is $93, and they have to write off the other right at $2,000. Explain that. How do they make any money? I don't understand that. And I'll let you talk if you want to.
Thanks for the call.
You know, I don't claim to understand all the magic behind all that stuff. I'll be honest with you, sometimes the hospitals can write things off, sometimes the insurance companies will write things off. But the bottom line is, when you sign up for a plan, you've got a contract with that company, whether it's XYZ company or whatever. And when you look at that and it says this certain thing is your responsibility to pay that certain amount, under contract, that's what you're supposed to pay. Okay? Now, if the company comes back and they say, well, we made a deal over here with the hospital and this CT scan, we got it for $200 and we're only paying $93 and you're paying $100, I don't know how that works out. As long as you're paying, you don't have to pay any more than your $100, then your contract's fulfilled. Now, it seems to be that, you know, sometimes I do see these things that they're called explanation of benefits, okay? That's what I think the gentleman was referring to, where it says, here's how much the procedure costs, here's how much your insurance costs, and here's how much you owe after it's all said and done, okay? And so somewhere in there, either Humana's talked them down, got a better deal, in your case, I don't know if that's the case or not, or the hospital wrote it off, or I don't know. But as long as it didn't cost you any more than $100, that sounds like it's right on target.
I would say that they probably have read your resume and whatever you would call it, and said this person is in this price range, and this is where we have to,
you know,
deal with it.
I don't really understand the business billing departments of these hospitals. I sure don't.
I don't believe anybody does. You're on the air.
Yes, tell Mark to get that number behind his head, move it over and under Linda Kilgore, and everybody can see it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
You need to get a professional one of those made.
I put that together last time just on the fly because I knew that you were going to be, where were you, in the hospital last time I was up here? And
Yeah.
I thought, well, I better get a phone number up there, just make sure. Just in case you can't read that, it's 866-691-5571. My name's Mark Beckman. I'm with Insurance Consultants out of Knoxville, and I've been covering Campbell County, known RL for longer than he's going to admit, and
Anyway, Mark, I really appreciate you coming
I
on.
appreciate you all. Thank you, Campbell County.
And you guys have been advertising with me now for quite a while, and I really appreciate it, and I hope we can just keep that relationship going for forever. I got 2 more years. I just need to stay here.
Okay, we can. We'll try to keep you going another 2 years, all right?
Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be back out of these words. From
Thanks, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, Q&B, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays, I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family-owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, I'm Linda Kilgore. This is my 35th year with State Farm, my 25th year here in Campbell County. I'm not a high-pressure salesman. I like to just sit down with my customers and help them decide what's right for them. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
The Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT. The Mule Pro FXT is engineered to smooth out the most rugged terrain. Over 8.5 inches of suspension travel make uneven surfaces feel a lot less jarring, while a tight 16-foot turning radius combined with electric power steering means easy and effortless cornering on a dime. Engine braking is tuned for a controlled feel when heading downhill, and high output LED headlights light up the way. Round out this exceptional package with the maximum stopping power of front and rear disc brakes, and there's almost nothing the Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT.
Okay, and welcome back, folks. I'm waiting on Mr. Fannin. He should be here just any minute. But while we're doing that, Tennessee Outdoors on Baker Highway, folks, after you pass where the courthouse or the funeral home is there, and you know the mall in Huntsville, it's approximately a mile, maybe a mile and a quarter, out to Tennessee Outdoors. Tennessee Outdoors has a great selection of the things that you need for outdoor hunting, camping, shooting, you name it, and the bows, all that, and a good selection of guns. You know, I'm not in favor of just everybody and their grandpa having a gun, but us hunters and the people that knows how to use them, I'm 100% for that, and I always have been. I don't think anybody's going to come and get a gun, but I think there should be better things in place where certain people just can't get a hold of them. Sometimes cops, like the one in Cincinnati, the University of Cincinnati shouldn't have had a gun, probably. But anyway, he's on Baker Highway, and they got the Husqvarna, H-U-S-K, Husqvarna tractors, lawnmowers, and what have you, zero turn mowers, 48 months, zero interest. They have firearms, ammo, hunting and fishing supplies, handguns starting as low as $169. So stop by and see them on your way to the other people that's advertising with me, like True Value Homes and Razaks. But True Value Homes, they got a good selection. Let me give you a number here. And they just have the best, I guess, financing you can find. Now you have to have property to put this new home on. You can't just buy a new home and have them pull it off the lot. They have to have something other to ensure that they're going to get at least part or most of their monies back. But anyway, they have great financing for you. You can't, no matter what your credit score is, they can find ways to finance you in most cases, almost all cases. Ron's Golf Carts and Flea Market behind Long John Silver's here. Hey, you just need to go down and check that out. You're around here, go down, and you've never seen a flea market that where it's as clean as this place and everything's got a price on it. You don't have to say, well, is this a quarter, or do I have to take it out of this box and look at it, pull this thing out? It's all put out and displayed for you to look at. That's Ron's Golf Cart and Flea Market. Also, Riggs Drugs at Jacksboro. They're bringing you Nacho, and open on Saturdays now, folks, till 1 o'clock. And they do take Humana. That's Riggs Drugs at Jacksboro. They're open till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and they do take Humana insurance. Okay, we're back and ready to go. I do have some other subjects to talk about tonight. One of them I want to talk about real quick is your football team. I was talking to a gentleman this afternoon about the football team and how it's come on the last few years, and it's a 5A school or 4A. I don't know which. I think it's a 5A, but anyway, they have to play the big boys. But now there's a lot of the schools out there. There's 32 teams now, and I don't think Campbell County is one of those teams where the schools are so big that they are automatically in a playoff. They have a playoff no matter what. All 32 of those teams are definitely in the playoffs because if they don't win a game, that's where they put the 6A. Now, some of these 5A schools, they want to go play in that particular league, like the Maryvilles. Maryville's not a 6A school, but they want to go play in that. So that means that those people are all in it. Well, Campbell County, you know, I was talking to this guy, and he says, you know, we're having a very hard time even to get people to schedule us, and we couldn't get nobody to scrimmage us this year. Now, that's not good. You're on the air.
Are we still not talking about what's really going on with the judge down here?
Well, and I'll listen to what I have no idea what's going on with the judge, basically, okay? Now, someone on Wednesday night, and the Straight Talk with Jerry Chadwell, he may know, but let's talk about what you're wanting to talk about. Tell me what's going on. Tell me and which judge is it? Well, now they want me to talk about it, but they don't have enough intestinal fortitude to talk about it themselves. Talk about whatever it is. Let's just talk about it. I'm ready to listen. You know, you can't just call me and say, find out but you need to tell me what judge, what are you talking about? I don't go out here and I don't have the time to do that. And I'm almost too old to be doing anything right now, to be honest with you. You're on the air.
You know why we'll be persecuted by whatever we say.
What about me?
Well,
I want to tell you this. If somebody's screwing over me or messing with me, I'm going to talk about it. Let me tell you, I talked about something last night on my show. I got called every name and even threatened me last night because I mentioned about our water department refusing to help someone and even turned her back on 2 commissioners. And I have the person, or one of the people involved, I guess or somebody from the water department, called me every kind of name and threatened me on the air last night because I was talking about an issue. But you got.
I know you're trying to, really bring about awareness of everything that's going on in the county, and I respect that. But you're missing it, apparently. This judge has been in the paper since she got elected, destroying court documents, she's being sued, everything. Why are you
but ma'am, she said that right here on my show, what she would do, and that's what she's doing, and the people who elected her.
Yeah, well, they're stupid.
Well, they elected her. She said that there would be changes. But I'm saying, whenever you got the majority of the people,
And Judge Ayers was back in there because she is such evil, crooked. And now we're seeing. But apparently you don't read the Christian Journal.
Oh yeah, I read the Christian Journal every week.
So ever since she got elected, it's been this and that and everything, destroying court documents. She's being sued civilly, everything.
And she said that's what she would do, it that she would make a change, and there would not be none of this.
She didn't say she'd be an ass. She said she'd be make a name for herself, and that name is bitch.
Well, I'm just telling you, she said, you will have a different judge. I will.
Different.
And she said, let me tell you something other. And another thing that she said, and I'm not running, she said, God, she said, God will be my guide.
Oh, well, come on. How many people said that?
Well, that's what she said. And then I had people call in and question that. But,
exactly.
But appreciate your call. You're on the air.
Hey, big guy.
Hey.
Hey, speaking of God, they threw him out of the senior center today. I'm serious. Hey, they had an election there. Boy, I'll tell you, that senior center situation really got out of control. E.L. Martin is letting it get totally out of control. Coldmeyer's not providing any leadership or guidance at all. And they actually threw people out. They had an board member election today. There's people they didn't want there, and they actually threw them out. Told them, we have rejected you as a member of this organization. If you don't leave, we'll call the law and have you arrested. They threw women out, they threw men out, and then they threw God out. I'm serious. A minister, once they threw all these people out, this church man wanted to have a prayer to guide their actions. And the president of the board, Charlotte Cabrera, actually got up and said, no, we're not permitting prayer. So they threw God out. You got a bunch of atheists there, right?
No. That's what's that.
Hey, when you throw God out, you're catering to Satan, my man.
Well, I'm not saying one way or another on that. All I'm saying is, listen,
if he's on the board and has the authority to stop a man from praying, then she is catering to Satan. Coldmeyer's letting it and backing it. So you got a bunch of Satanist atheists down there running the thing.
Well, let me
throwing good Christian people out.
Let me just see if I can kind of put a little different spin on that. If they're getting
today, were you there today?
If they're getting
the senior center today.
Well, no, but just listen to me for just a second.
Well, how can you put a spin on it when you weren't there?
I'm listening.
Talk to anybody.
Well, if you'll give me a second, I'll tell you how.
This is the first thing you've heard about the senior center.
Right, this is the first time, but I'll give you a little bit of spin on it. If they're getting a government funding to run that down there, it's just like the schoolhouse. You can't have a preacher come in the schoolhouse and have prayer. And it's the same thing if they're getting government assistance now. But I'm saying, I think the man should have been able. I think the man should have been able to say a prayer. I'm just saying that is a spin. I don't know whether it's that, but if they're
now listen, there's no such thing as separation of church and senior centers.
Anything where you get a government, when you get government assistance.
No, you know better than that.
No, I'm saying if that's a possibility.
Senior center.
I'm just with you getting government.
Boy, you talk about a spin now, RL. That's you.
I'm just saying there should it could be some, but again, I'm for letting that man pray myself.
Well, all I can say is E.L. Martin is letting it get out of control. He's not showing the leadership that people thought that he would demonstrate. He's kept a man who is obviously too sick to run the senior center. He's not giving any leadership. In fact, in the middle of the county commission meeting, he threw up his hands, didn't want to hear any more about it.
and he didn't want to hear not another word about any problems at the senior center. Now, what kind of director of the senior center is that? A person that throws his hands up and says, I ain't fooling with it anymore.
Well, I'll put it this way.
He should have resigned right then. He Morton should have fired him right then or asked for his resignation and put somebody in there that could get these people under control who are abusing other elderly people at the senior center. That's all it is. Elderly abuse at the senior center.
Well, I don't know about, but like I say, if I lived over here, I'd be involved one way or another. Have you ever went down there?
You are right about the fact they do get a lot of government money. And so they have no legal right whatsoever to be throwing people out.
I'm not saying,
So,
I agree.
the only ground, I know when I taught in school, the only ground for really suspending a child is if that child or student was a danger to his fellow students or to the faculty, staff, or property of the school. Then you could legally suspend a person.
Right.
That is that. And none of these people they threw out down there has been a threat to property or safety or life. And so they're throwing people out for capricious, injudicious reasons that they do not have a legal right to.
Okay.
So, there's going to be, basically what they're doing is dividing the county. And Neil Morton should straighten all this out. He should not allow this to go forward because they are going to bring huge lawsuits against the county and the senior center and the people running.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your call.
Hey, what else we got to talk about? I don't like you getting a whole lot of calls.
Well, I got call waiting.
Hey, look, it's good to see you. You're looking good. You're looking healthy. I hope you're doing real well, RL.
Well,
Really appreciate you coming over here and having this show.
We're trying.
Okay, buddy. Hang on.
Well, if I don't get any more calls, you call me. Now, we've done. Okay, see ya. Bye-bye. You're on the air.
I like that woman that called a while ago asking you questions.
Uh-huh.
That's what's wrong with all this world and all these judges and places. They want to know what's going on, but they won't speak up about it.
That's exactly the problem. That's why I started the show in Scott County 22 years ago, because of so many people just would not. And I'm serious. For a year or two, almost every show I had, somebody was threatening to kill me.
Right.
Because I was talking.
I won't call no names, but me and a person was talking, and this lady comes through. She said, "Boy, it's nice to walk through and hear you're being talked about." I told her, I said, "I ain't said nothing to her, because I ain't said your face or that I won't say your face." That's what's wrong with this world. People will bring up subjects, complain about it, but they don't want to stand up for it and talk about it.
They don't want to stand up for themselves. They want somebody else to stand up for them.
I just told them my mother raised me, and said, if you're doing it, you believe in it, you stand up for it. And myself, that's the way I am. I won't say nothing behind nobody's back, and I won't say to their face. And if I believe in it, I'll fight it 100%.
Well, I've got a problem of if someone has got a problem with me and I hear about it, I will go to that person and say, let's talk about it. Now, what can we do? It's been, it's in 1993. We were getting, from the commission, each one of us is getting us a $5,000, I guess, gift for us to do anything we choose to do with inside of our district. Well, $5,000 wouldn't take a water line 1.5 miles to this guy's house. I actually had them build a gazebo at the schoolhouse at Fairview School. If you ever been over there, that gazebo was my $5,000 that the county commission had voted to give each one of us, the 14 of us, a $5,000 a line of credit to do whatever we needed to do with it in our own district. And I thought, we need a place for our people to go have the picnics and stuff instead of having to go over to Oneida. Why don't we just I'll put one right here in our community and they can do it. Well, this guy was saying, a boy, the first time he seen me, he's a big old guy too, he was going to wire the ground out with me. And so I go to his house. And I just said, I understand that you're very upset with me and you want to whip me. I said, now, I know I can't whip you and I'm not going to shoot you and I hope you won't shoot me. But if you've got a problem with me, whip me now, get it over with. But I still would have done exactly the same thing I done. Now, you want to talk about it like, gentlemen, we can talk about it. Well, guess what?
I'm like that too. I mean, if somebody says I've done something, if they ask me if I've done it, I'll tell them. But I'm not, I'm not just going to take it, I done it. But if somebody comes up and asks me if I've done so and so, if I've done it, I'm going to say yes, I've done it.
Yeah, I appreciate your call. Thank you. You're on the air.
They play at all the council meetings, and they play at all the county court meetings, then they turn around and pledge allegiance to the flag and turn back around and lie dog, and that's all I've got to say.
Okay, thank you. And there's another thing that I truly have a problem with. I have a problem with people in those meetings or whatever, putting their hand over the heart and pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Not just a few, but all. Black, green, orange, brown, white, all. And I'll guarantee you 50 to 60% of those people does not mean it when they say all. You're on the air.
All right.
Yes.
I do have a problem with people, I can't understand. What is wrong with these people? As much as that judge, she's been in the paper ever since September, ever since she got on the job. And nobody calls in because everybody's scared shitless. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. We forgive you this one time.
Thank you.
The thing about it is, unless that judge or any judge breaks the law, you cannot remove it.
Yes, she just record documents. What is that? The federal offense.
But again, unless you can take her to court or somebody take her to court, somebody.
I'd love to, but I ain't that rich.
That's the way the system works. You have to be able to prove. And now the thing about it is, what you need to do, it shouldn't cost you a dime. You should go to the state attorney general.
Really?
And your regional, Mr. Leffner, and tell him. He does not, but he does, see, she does not work under him. But he is the district attorney, and if he could take it to the state attorney and then bring some kind of charges for that if she's breaking the rules, then that wouldn't be your problem. It would be the state problem. If you've got a judge that's
it is my problem. It should be everybody's
That's
problem.
what I'm saying. It's not your problem to get it to court. It's the court's problem to get it to court.
Okay. So I'll try that route.
That's, you have to go to Mr. Effner first and get what his ruling would be. And then if you're not satisfied with that, go to the next, and then they'd have to bring charges against the judge. Now there is judges that gets thrown out.
They should be.
But you can't just go out there and get. That's the reason they get elected for 8 years. They get elected for 8 years.
And that's wrong to me. 8 years? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. That's what they get
I
elected.
know it's 8 years, but that's wrong.
But they get, and the thing about it is, most judges are not elected, they're appointed. And it's just about impossible to remove a judge from a bench.
Take them off. Well, I remember when Judge Herman got kicked off for snorting coke. So it ain't impossible. He has to snort coke.
Oh, well, now, now, like I say, now, if you can prove, or if they're, and what's the matter? Your Attorney General should be able to, if there's something breaking the law, they're the one that should bring the charges, not you.
Well, somebody should stand up. I mean, this is ridiculous. Can't wear open-toed shoes in her court. You'll be arrested. Can't show up 5 minutes late. You'll be put in handcuffs. I mean, come on.
Well,
even Ann Hesper talked about it in her paper, her column last week. You know, that we got one judge, it's who you know, and whatever, and then we got another judge. She's more interested in controlling than adjudicating.
like she said it right here on this show, just as simple as she could say it. Hey, I will be in charge of my court, and God will be my guide.
No, God help her. She is.
And right here, I told everybody around me, and I said, she just got elected. She just got elected. I even talked to her opponents and said, how do you fight that?
Well, just about them. And I thought when she stood up on your show and was talking about, you know, God this, God that, you gotta have a separation from the court or the law, and
again,
I can understand how she was elected, because to me, that right there would have lost my vote.
well, that's not the way it works in Campbell County.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Appreciate your call. But where you at, Bob? We got big news to share here. You're on the air?
Yeah, I'm going back to it, want to comment on her. She said something needs to be done about it. It's not going to be done if the people don't speak up and stand up for it.
Absolutely. Unless it's somebody at least throws out a grievance out there against what's going on. If that's and if she's breaking the law, then they can do something. But she's not. I don't know that she's breaking the law. This is my court, and basically.
If people's not going to stand up and talk about it.
Right. If they don't stand up, or
they need to talk.
And so, like I said, folks, and I respect her very much. I respect Kathy. I respect everybody that's out there. Joe, I don't know Joe, but I respect any law enforcement officers or judges. But like I said, I asked her, I said, when did you decide to run for this office? She said, I've worked for, and she said, I'm not sure, but because she don't look that old. She said she'd worked in the DA's office, I believe, she said 7 or 12 years. I don't know for sure. It might have been 10 or what, but she had worked. She said, and I drive all the way to Claiborne County to do my job every day. And one day, coming down the valley, I asked God to guide me in, and what should I do about running for that office? And then she plainly said, you know, I said a few other things, and she was on here several times, and she wasn't well known at that time. But she got well known on here because she absolutely, in her campaigning, it might not have been planned that way, but she's a singer. She sung in church. I get a very good Christian woman, supposedly, And I mean, I can't attest to that one way or another. But anyway, that was her platform, and it worked. She became a judge, sessions judge of Campbell County. Thanks for the call.
They also talked about the dressing. You can't dress any other way in Virginia in the court. You can't wear shorts. You can't wear tank tops. You can't wear flip-flops. The only thing I don't agree on the dress code, there's a lot of women around here that don't wear dresses, and she requires you to wear a dress to the court.
That's, I believe that's a little bit over top, but anyway, I guarantee you in a lot of the court rooms throughout this state, if you don't go in looking presentable, you're not going to face the judge.
Right. Like I say, in Virginia, you have to be presentable, no shorts, tank tops, bikini tops, flip-flops.
Okay.
But here, they just have no problem with that with women.
Okay.
Myself, I don't wear a dress, and that should have a problem with that.
Appreciate your call.
Thank you.
And I do think that dress probably has something to do with beliefs. I'm sorry right now, folks, I'm going to have to take a break, but I will get back to your phone calls right after we take these breaks and talk about our sponsors.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, QMB, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays, I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family-owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Pierce. I may not be Jake from State Farm, but I do wear khakis. I've been here with Linda Kilgore's office for 2 years. I enjoy helping people make a decision regarding their insurance based on their needs and wants. I'm fully licensed. I enjoy selling auto, home, and life insurance. So feel free to come in or call in any time, and I'll be glad to help you.
Now with a full line of independent rear suspension options, the all-new Foreman Rubicon and Rancher automatic DCT models are equally ready to work and have fun. Part of the growing ATV family from Honda.
Okay, folks, just want to remind you folks that Riggs Drugs Jacksboro is now open on Saturdays until 1 o'clock. I think that's from 9 to 1. And also they now take Humana insurance. So you can get your prescriptions if you're a Humana insurance customer. Also, Ron's golf carts. Hey, folks, he rents them, he sells them, and he also has his flea market, indoor flea market. If you've never been down there, you just like to browse. You ladies, I know. I'd say all of you, or not all of you, but 90% of you, probably in the category of a 8 to 9 shop till you drop. See, I got a family that I believe they're all 10s, shop till they drop. I've even got a son, or both sons actually like to shop. I don't like to shop. I never have liked to shop. And I don't know where they get it, but if you know, I go down to Ron's and I stop in and I have a few minutes or this and that, I'll walk through and ask him what does he want me to try to sell, and sometimes I'll buy something myself. I guess that's shopping, but it's not no 8 or 10, I'll tell you that. True Value Homes. What else can I say any different than what I've been saying? Except, folks, you need to check it out. If you're in the market for a new home, you give them a call at 663-8633. Now that's a free call from Campbell County to Scott County. It's no long distance, so nothing else. Call them if you're even thinking about a home. And I'm telling you right now, some of those homes that's made, factory made, are probably actually built better and stronger than some of the houses you see people throw up out here, just blim, 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 blim. Because there's a lot of technology put into those homes anymore. And Tennessee Outdoors on Baker Highway in Huntsville. Now they used to be on Highway 27, but now there's a new store. You can't miss it. It's about a mile and a half past the Huntsville Mall. On the right hand side as you're going towards 27. And the outdoor store has just got, well, you just have to go shopping. It's got so much stuff in it to where you can browse around, and ammo. I don't know if they've ever had any problem getting ammo for people. So you check it out, and they have hunting and fishing supplies, and then they have the handguns starting very low, $169. Just stop by and talk to them, and you might just, you found that one first. They can tell you exactly where True Value Homes are at, and Razaks. So, and if there's anybody else out there that done an 8 and don't care to call me at Razaks, I'm telling you, you know, I know the prices may be but it doesn't bother me to pay an extra $1 for something that's especially good and plenty of it. That's what I like. But now, fish, they give you on Friday nights, they give you 2 big pieces of fish and hush puppies and coleslaw or whatever you need. And folks, it's $6.95. Where can you get fish for $6.95? And I'm telling you, it's good. And I don't even like fish, but it's good. Okay, I'm ready to go back and talk about taxes. Now, I've seen they did approve a 248 tax rate, 25% increase in your taxes. Now, I know that the last 3 or 4 years, there's always been a lot of talk. Well, how are we going to get through this? How are we going to get through this? And you can read in the paper, and especially Ann Hester. How many times in her column did she talk about taxes? And saying, they can't be doing it this way. They can't be doing it, but they kept doing it this way. Sometimes I get aggravated at some of her columns too. In fact, about it, I don't know that I was that fond of this week's column, because it does, I mean, I know that she's not trying to defend her in-law, but the thing about it is, it sounds so much like it. You're on the air.
I know you know it's me.
Okay.
Anyway, let's talk about the core of the problem. The people we got at the courthouse, crooked as hell, and you know what I'm talking about. I know you love her, I know.
I love who? Who do I love?
Salmon. Because she's pretty.
Oh, I've got to stop you. I don't know Amanda. She come on my show, and
many times I saw her.
I've seen her one time since she was on my show. I was at the courthouse whenever they was having a meeting, and she had already gotten in her car, and she rolled out her window and waved at me.
Oh yeah, big kiss probably.
Oh yeah. That's a joke.
True. I don't know why other people are not calling in about how she's done down there, talk to people like they're dogs, and everything else. I mean, it's unreal. She makes her own rules. I mean, that's what she's getting sued now.
But let me just say this to you. You know, it's just like me doing my show. I've done my show, like I said, and I've told you.
I've watched you ever since, and I respect
And I have people, you don't believe it, where you want to believe it or not, I have people that feel the same way about me as you feel about.
No, totally different. Don't even go there, Ariel. It's totally different.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Appreciate.
I love you like a dumbhead you are.
Okay. Appreciate your call. Thank you. Come on in. You're on the air.
Hey, am I mistaken, or did Amanda Salmon pay you forever time she was on this show?
Every time.
So she found time on this show. It's not like you were doing her a favor.
No, I didn't give nobody a one bit of slack. Every time she came on here, she paid. If she stayed on 15 minutes, she paid me $100. If she stayed.
Very heavy. Said you were the most expensive guy in East Tennessee. He bought time on a station in Washington, D.C. cheaper than she could get it with you.
Yeah, you're crazy.
But anyway, yeah, I thought she bought time. I felt like you had a personal relationship.
Absolutely not.
It was her. Because if I'm not mistaken, you also had one of her opponents on pretty regularly too.
And I charge her the exact same thing. And then sometimes whenever they stayed on here 30 minutes, 45 minutes, if they stayed an hour, they paid $400 to be here. And that's cheap. Because I'll tell you this, you can't go out there and meet the number of people that's watching this show and for $400 and that she's touching in a day, and if she spends $5,000, you still can't do it. And run.
You make sure you reach over in the back pocket of that guy sitting beside you and get $400 out of his pocket.
I done that. Appreciate you coming.
Okay. Hey, Bob, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Every month for 12 years.
Okay, we'll catch you later.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, buddy, I've been waiting on you.
I'm sorry, I had to go to another meeting.
I wouldn't tell nobody what's going on either.
Well, we just came from the city hall meeting, and then I had to go to another meeting in between. Let me tell you what we did, the 4 or 5 major things we did today. We hired Jimmy Jeffers as the city administrator.
Okay.
We hired Bill Rail out of Knoxville as the chief of police.
When is this effective?
Jimmy's is at the first payroll will be a week from Friday, go into effect, I think, a week from Friday. Mr. Rail goes in 2 weeks from today, effective 2 weeks from today.
Okay.
We had the big fight at City Hall you know, when they had the fight and everything, talk about requirements and how much education and experience you had to be a city administrator. And we came up with something, I mean, the attorney did and found it in MTAS where they either had to have the degree or a specialty, find that the experience or training they have is enough to justify the hiring, okay? And so Jimmy had that training and
In-house training.
In-house training, okay? On top of that, we sued for, we've been saying that for off and on for years, because mistakes made by the state of Tennessee or the post office service, because the post office, some of the people who have businesses down on the Jacksboro end is because of the way the post office said the money's been going to them, so, or to someone.
Right.
I'm not saying it's to that municipality, but we did, we sued, I put it on so I remember, I'm sorry. We sued the federal, state of Tennessee, and any municipalities or counties that's received our funds. We did instruct our attorney to go after them starting today. And on the smoking in the parks, we found out that we cannot do that, so that has been dropped. You can still smoke in the parks, okay? There will be some instructions there on signs where they want you to stay away from certain areas where we put thousands of dollars on turf. So the children don't, skin their knees and stuff on dirt and dry grass.
So you have to put turf.
We have put turf
rather than chips.
So yes, we have, and the motion that was made for the lawsuit was to instruct our attorney to explore and investigate the possibility of bringing legal actions to recoup any wrongful diverted sales tax dollars from the city of La Follette. And we will explore taking actions against any federal, state, Tennessee, or municipality entity, as well as the mapping GSI entity that is responsible for the wrongful and neglectful diversion of sales tax from the city of La Follette. We have asked Senator Alexander on numerous occasions to assist us. We have asked Senator Coker on numerous occasions. No assistance has been given us. We've asked Congressman Fleshman, no assistance. We have asked Representative Powers to assist us. He put us in touch with Congressman Fleshman, but this is a state issue too on the mapping,
right.
GSS mapping, and we have asked Ken Yeager. Now Ken Yeager did call the mayor today, but we were going to do this tonight. So I'm disappointed in all of those our people that we've elected to take care of the city of La Follette, and didn't help us. I mean, I know there's a lot of things more important than several $100,000 in sales tax to the city of La Follette, but not to me because I'm responsible for the city of La Follette. And these all passed unanimously almost. I think there was one no vote on Mr. On the city administrator and two no votes on the one no vote, I'm sorry, on the chief of police. But other than that, it went very smoothly. But you saw the agenda, and it went through in an hour, so very good.
Great. Would you care to let us all know how voting went? I mean, each one, or
Mr. Jeffers, Ann Thompson voted yes. Joe Bollinger voted yes. I voted yes. Hansford Hatmaker voted no. On Mr. Rail, Ann Thompson voted yes. I voted yes. Hansford Hatmaker voted yes. And Joe Bollinger voted no.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So,
Really, at least, you had somebody supporting, at least one of those calls.
yes. I mean, and we have interviewed, counting the ones we interviewed prior to this, we had 35 applications. We didn't interview all those. We interviewed about 7 or 8 on the city administrator. We interviewed 2 on the city police. We had an in-house person who was very capable, but just didn't have the experience of Mr. Rail. Mr. Rail retired from the police force several years ago at the very young age of 51, 52. And he had met his retirement.
All the requirements.
He met his total he invested all he could get from this. Yeah. So, and he was over 300 officers. He was the 3rd person in charge of the Knoxville City Police Department. He does grant writings. It was a superb hire for us.
Nice.
And so I couldn't really actually believe he'd take it at the money we offered. So, but he did. He wanted it. So, and he graduated from the Jacksboro High School just the year before Jacksboro and La Follette, who was put together in the same high school. And he has property here, has some homes here, but he lives in Powell. Of course, the other applicant, Daniel Smith, who was great, is a good police officer. He lived in Oneida, so
So there wasn't a whole lot of difference there.
No.
In fact, it's probably closer to Powell than it is to Oneida.
Well, with that in consideration, the consideration was that everywhere Mr. Rail has been and as much experience as he's had, weighed everything on it.
Well, I don't think he went wrong with it. Even if it was a Scott County guy in there, maybe that I'd like to see the Scott County guy.
But Mr. Rail was just, and Mr. Jeffers had a little bit of experience on being the city administrator. He was there for 3 to 6 months, did a good job while he was there. He was an in-house promotion, but we'll see how it goes. Jimmy catches on quick, and I think he'll have to.
Well, let me ask you this. You said if you thought he would have to. You've operated now for what, really
2 years.
2 years without an administrator, because Ms. Russell was only there, what, 3 or 4 months, and it seemed like it was nothing but chaos the whole time.
Well, I made an announcement tonight, and I think every councilman and the mayor picked up on this, but I made an announcement that because of our situation, from this point on, I warned the department heads that if the mayor or Joe or myself or Ann or Hansford tells an employee or a department head to do something, they don't have to do it unless it comes from Jimmy Jeffers' mouth, okay? So everybody, I think, on the mayor and all the councilmen agreed to this, so it'd make this transition
It's in
a
writing.
lot easier. Yes, and because we're a policy, we just set policies.
Right.
The administrator does the day-by-day along with the department heads. We set policies, they carry it out, and we're not there to boss people, tell them to do this, tell them to do that. We're not there to do that. Now, if we have a complaint from a citizen, I will call the department head and tell them that I had a complaint from R.M. Gibson that for some reason XXXX, and they follow up from there. That's, whatever they follow up on. I do carry on complaints. Everybody does that. That's just the complaints that we have to do. And that's all we do. That's all we do.
Well, I'll tell you, and I'm a firm believer, and I can tell you a story that, and I know some of the people out here has already heard it, but whoever's the head of if something goes wrong in any department with any person or anything, only person that person has to listen to or needs to listen to is the boss of that department. They go through proper channels. Evidently, they've never been in the Army, or they've never been in.
Works a lot better that way, doesn't it?
That works a heck of a lot better. And as God is my witness, is sitting here right now, I had a very, very, very good paying job. And I had, at the time, I had about 15 people, technical people under me. I didn't know nothing of what they knew, but I was their boss. And my boss come in one day, we was having a meeting, and she said, and she didn't talk to me about what we was going to, and she started to tell them, you're going to do it this way, and you're going to do it that way, and you're going to do, and I just stood up and I said, wait just a minute, Laura, that's not the way it works with me. Now, if you want to tell me what's going to change in this department, you will tell it behind closed doors. And then you can tell them. And she said, no, I'll tell them. Every one of my employees, so help me God, stood up and walked out and left her standing there. Now, I'm the one that had to pay the price.
Well, but compared to the meeting we had at the workshop and this meeting, and we had several pages on the agenda of this meeting, it went very, very smoothly, very quickly.
That's good.
We got to the point. Everybody had their say. Their say was done in just a couple of minutes, but everyone had their say. So, you know, everybody. Some people are disappointed, some are not. You know, it's just the way it is, and you can never. Some people want person A, some people want person B. You just can't please everybody. You just got to go from what your experience is that I've had, and make your decision from there.
But it's like, let's just take the way the charter is written for La Follette. Basically, the mayor, he couldn't go to Jimmy now and say, Jimmy, this is the way you're going to do it, without him first consulting with his alderman.
Well, if any of us had a problem and we went to Jimmy and Jimmy checked it out and he wanted to fix the problem, we could do it that
I'm
way.
saying
He didn't. Mike doesn't have to go through us to go to Jimmy and say, hey, can we get this done right here?
No, I understand that. Can we? But he can't give a directive.
No.
That's what I'm talking about. No. Basically, you have to. You can't have a meeting every time you ask somebody, do you need to fire up these tires down here? What it is, I'm saying, if you've got a directive that got to change policy or anything, it has to go through.
But the monies that we were losing to other cities and other counties was the biggest issue, in my opinion, even though we're hiring 2 new people, we made sure, number one, we brought lawsuits, we were going to bring lawsuits if we were required to. We also addressed the 911 committee that no new addresses will be approved unless it goes through the planning commission, something new. And we also gave all the people businesses who are in the city of La Follette that has a Jacksboro address, we gave them until October 1, and we were going to personally deliver them letters stating that it is a problem between La Follette Post Office and Jacksboro Post Office, not the city of La Follette and the city of Jacksboro, and that we suggest to them to go ahead and get a post office box at La Follette or Jacksboro to get their mail, so the mail won't be interrupted, because come October 1st, everything inside the city of La Follette will have the city of La Follette address.
You're on the air.
I don't understand why, when they caught that feller breaking into that office, nobody knows, and that stuff will come back to haunt the city one of these days.
Well, I mean, I feel like you, but if we can only take the thing was investigated, it was turned to the DA. She chose not to do anything with it. Hey, there's nothing we can do. It's nothing you and I can do about it.
When he was first caught in there, and he admitted being broke into the office.
Yes.
Mr. Gafford did not have to go to no DA right then. He could put him in jail Right, and he was a citizen. If a citizen or you had went in there, a citizen, I was saying a citizen went in there and drilled a hole in that door to go with public property, not his property, not your property. This is the public property. Why Mr. Jeffers didn't arrest the man?
You'd have to ask Mr. Jeffers, I don't know.
And the next thing is Mr. Rail, the one that you elected sheriff or chief.
Yes.
How could he not get involved in that and the $400 and some you stated a few minutes ago that they spent on that trail and wrecked that car and no consequences of it? I do not, as a citizen of this town that pays taxes, if any citizen that broke into that building, that was the police department. The police department is in that building.
Well, I suggest that you come to a meeting and express your views. As far as I know, everything was done, as far as I've been told, everything was done that could be done.
Well, I'll tell you the person. Well, Mr. Krautman, y'all can answer that question.
Yes.
They would have went to jail. I'll tell a man, if you would have broke into that building, you tell him, if you broke into that building to the drill, one time broke into that administrator's office.
Well, let me say this to you.
Let me tell you, it's coming up for election. Vote your commitment. Go to city